What is up, guys? Welcome back to Still Slaps, the music channel, music reviews, music commentary. I'm Shuby repping for Still Slaps. Today on deck, we have a little bit of a review for Don Toliver's new album, Life of a Don. This album is by Don Toliver's. A lot of people have been introduced to Don from the Cactus Jack homies, the boys that are responsible. You got Travis Scott, who kind of ushered Don in a little bit through a few features earlier on. Well, not earlier on. Don was kind of around that time period, the Astro World period. Around there, a lot of people probably stumbled onto him, and rightly so. Don Toliver is a great like hybrid of like a young. He kind of reminds me of like a young Akon, a little bit of that, and like bred in with a little bit more of a modern take. His vocalization, he's one of those young cats who can really harmonize really well, and he has a great sense of direction with his music, and he knows how to really write music that will, make you kind of, get you in, a feel. He'll have you feeling a way with just a lot of the smooth, R&B kind of bounce, a little bit more of a change in course as far as the way sonically, the way the instrumentation, the instrumental sound, obviously a little bit more of that, modern trap bounce. You get a lot of that on this album in particular. The downfall, I'll start with, not really a downfall. This is a pretty good album. I think that Don is really just solidifying his spot in style. He, like I said, he knows his strengths in the melodies, and the singles really prove that. What You Need, I wasn't a fan of that one at first. I think that it kind of will take a little bit for me to get into What You Need, a little bit more time. And then there was the second single, which I feel like really hooked me right away. That melodic flow, and with the feature on top of that, really hypnotizes you, just from the way it sounds, and just the lane that the sonic lane that altogether, that thing is just great chemistry. I think Don really has that strength point in his bag. He just really sinks in these hypnotic melodies that really have you memorizing his songs for a long time to come. In particular, just to kind of reference Don's last album, I remember I probably bumped Cardigan off of Don's last album. That was definitely one of my biggest played songs of last year. And that album, the Heaven or Hell album, that album was a very it was another similar take on this album. I think that they are very much in that kind of similar playing field. There's not too much to differentiate from the sounds of these albums. And like I said, I feel like Don is really just kind of smoothing over his skill points. I think he is solidifying his spot, and just being a young artist who is captivating by melody. Recently, before this album, we had the Internet Money drop with Don Toliver, Gunna, and Uzi. I think that was another that was another highlight for me from Don, and just seeing his performance, and really had me excited for this album. I think that the only thing that I'm gonna say in regards to the content, it can be a little repetitive, but some of the features make up for it. Baby Keem's feature, I really liked his feature more than I liked a good majority of Baby Keem. I'm one of those people who has to get used to Baby Keem's voice, but I really did like the approach that Baby Keem approached on this album, on this feature. I think that it was definitely something that I'm readily gonna return to. And I think these guys, like, he just really smoothed out a really nice lane. Once again, like I said, very similar to the Heaven or Hell album sonically. And I think that a lot of these instrumentals were just kind of like I think sometimes they can be secondary for someone like Don Toliver, who's just a master of just vocalization, vocal melodies, and will ultimately give you that delivery more so from his vocals. So I think that, for the next album, I think I just want to see a little bit more strength or stretch on the lyrical content. I think I need to know a little bit about who Don is personally. Because where I have these melodic lanes that are just very superior and very strengthening from a standpoint of just a ride around standpoint, I think that I think it's also important for the artist to give you a little bit of who they are, whether that be their where they kind of come from as far as lyrically, or just kind of how they're doing and what they're going through. I think that we definitely have room for Don to be able to give you more of kind of a ballad lane, like more of like sincerity in the themes of the music. I think that's all Don really kind of needs to work with, because other than that, you just have a great playlist of music that just rides around really well in the whip. So definitely not a bad album. Like I said, I'm gonna rank it up close to Heaven or Hell, and I think that he's got a lane of his own that I think he'll carve out. I think he just, like I said, just needs to really take it a step further on the lyrical content. So let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling about this album. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on future Don Toliver? And we've got Don Toliver, the King of Melody, with Life of a Don. And I'm Shuby once again. Don Toliver, Life of a Don, still slaps.